Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visuals. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my strap, put on the beat, put on the map, put on my team. Take out every motherfucker in between. Know what I mean? Better myself, better my aim, better my rap, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame. Never thought I would it, now I'm running. You don't wanna follow me, now I'm looking for.
What's up? Good evening. And welcome to another broadcast of Steve the Kidney Nurse. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Tonight, we got a great show. Let me tell you, this show comes from a TikTok viewer that asked me to talk about home dialysis. And even though I talked about this subject before, or this topic, you cannot discuss anything dealing with dialysis too much, because every day, someone is getting diagnosed with kidney failure. You can see it right on social media. I see it when I'm on some of my comrades' live TikTok feeds. Candy Me Vegan or Mel Pena out of Florida doing PD. And you see people in the comments, I got stage 3, or I was diagnosed with stage 2. My mom has stage 3. My dad has stage 4. And I'm saying to myself, my God, if people just on this live are saying that they have kidney disease, it matches up with the statistics. 1 in 7. About 130,000 people are diagnosed with kidney failure each year, and maybe more. And then you got people who gets diagnosed into this new reality, and they don't know what's going on. I had a young lady reach out to me. She said, Steve, I've been following you for a while. And she said a minute. So you don't know what a minute is. Was it like 5 minutes or 10 minutes? No, that's just a joke. But she said, Steve, I've been following you for a minute. My grandma has stage 3 and want to know, do I know of any meal preps that are directed to this particular illness? Now, I'm sure out there is. Maybe got somebody doing some meal preps for kidney patients, and they may be charging. And you got patients that, man, I can't afford this. And that's understandable. And you know what I told her? I said, look, and I'm telling you guys too, if you're watching and if you care for somebody with kidney disease or you have it yourself, I said, save your money. And sorry to people out there who may have businesses for meal prep for kidney patients, but I said, save your money. And I gave her, you know, when I was on the one time and I had the different food categories and I had the different stages of what you should limit and what stages and how much you should have in this stage and what to avoid in this stage. That's what I did for. I wrote it down in the TikTok feed. It was long. But I said, look, whatever your grandma likes, tell her this around it. So if it says cut back, if you got stage 3 and it says cut back on protein, instead of eating, if you like boiled chicken breast, make half of it and say the other half for tomorrow. So you don't have all that protein coming through the kidneys. And then if you're at stage 3, make sure you see a kidney doctor and ask them about an ACE inhibitor so it can protect your kidneys from spilling protein and also help you urinate and bring the blood pressure down. And then change your diet, try to get some exercise in, and then add the supplement I use, Renadil, which is a probiotic that helps maintain kidney health. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, but this is what I informed her. And hopefully now she can make some adjustments to help her grandmother maintain her kidney function and her BP. And I'm saying this to you guys as well. I'm not turning this into a dietary show, but I'm saying if you're in this situation, there's things you can do where you don't have to spend a lot of money. However, go out and seek the information that you see with the nutritionists on TikTok, like Power Plant Kidney Base on Instagram, and Kelsey Reed of CKD Nutrition. She's on all social media platforms, and this is another dietitian on TikTok. I can't think of her name, and I apologize. But they have information like different diets, what you can do, different kidney-friendly meals. Take advantage of that, because you're not going to get, you can go to the Vita sites and the Fresenius sites, but how many people are thinking about the Vita and Fresenius? You got your small amount of people to go to their sites. But it's more to it than just those sites. It's more than one way to skin a cat. So let's talk about home dialysis. I got the wrong. I just noticed that nobody even, let me see if somebody told me. I had the anatomy of a kidney dialysis center up. Anybody tell me? Okay, thank you guys for watching. P Teach from YouTube, and Tracy Whitaker, thank you, from Facebook. Yep, she said, Tracy says, yep, that was me. Didn't know nothing about it. I'm at stage 5. So look, if you find yourself at stage 5 or 4, and dialysis may be in the future or distant future, but we try not to make it, too soon. We want to stretch it, and keep you balanced so you don't have to go on dialysis. Because just because you got kidney disease doesn't mean you're going to have kidney failure. Okay? Again, just because you got kidney disease doesn't mean you're going to have kidney failure. Not all people who have kidney disease will go on to kidney failure, just like all people with diabetes will not go on to kidney dialysis, even though it's the leading cause of kidney failure. And not all people with hypertension or high blood pressure will go on to have kidney failure. Okay, so let's make that clear. But for the people who do move or advance to the kidney failure, you're going to have to make a decision. Okay? And that decision is going to be, 1, do you want to transplant? 2, do you want to do in-center dialysis? 3, do you want to do home dialysis, whether it's peritoneal or home hemo? You can say, okay, I definitely want to get a transplant. You can say, okay, we get you. Now, if you want to get a transplant and you watching this and you at stage 5 or you at stage 4 on the cusp of becoming stage 5, I would be talking to the nephrologist, having them getting you on the list for preemptive transplant. Okay, preemptive. Before you get on that machine, if you know that dialysis in the future, if it's imminent, but it's just a matter of time, and you feel healthy, get on the list before you get on that machine. And I'm not hollering, I'm just passionate. So I want people to say, oh, the angry black man. No, because a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people, it's diabetes, then their kidneys fail, then they're in a hospital, and they on dialysis outpatient, and they're like, what the hell just happened? But the more you know, the better you be prepared. And so if you're at stage 4 and you maintain and you holding the fight, you keeping kidney disease on the rope, you know, you eating right, you maintaining your pressure, you're maintaining your glucose, you're maintaining your cholesterol, you're drinking water, you're exercising, you're doing all the right things. It's good to know this information, because what if you're doing the right things and you dropped your left hand and kidney disease come across with a right, and he knocks you out, and you try to get back up, fighting around, land you a couple of uppercuts, and then you find yourself, because it may be COVID or something else that brought your numbers down. This information can help, because then you say, oh, what? Oh my God, I got to go on dialysis. What I'm going to do? Then you're like, oh, let me go. If I want a transplant, let me go right now while my heart is good, while everything is okay, and get on that list. So at least I got my hat in the race. Because if you didn't know, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. You can have one person that could be on dialysis on that list for 6, 3, 4 years, and then someone just get diagnosed and be on dialysis 6 months and get a transplant. And you in the unit like, God damn, how did that happen? I just see this person just started. Because that person probably got on the list way yonder, as they say down south. Something you probably didn't know about because no one told you. So if you're watching this and you on at the verge of stage 5 and this is maybe imminent, talk to that kidney doctor. Tell him, look, I want to get on the list right now. I had that right as a patient. That's a treatment option. And even though you don't get it before you go on dialysis, at least you're on the head start than a lot of other patients who are getting diagnosed every day. You got a head start. So, with that being said, let's talk about what we came here tonight to listen to. And that's, let me read these comments because I want to acknowledge my best friend in dialysis. I got a lot of best friends, but Candace V. Madden, she said, you are going to fight like a warrior. And then she also says, so true, I don't understand how in the world the list works and how the selection works. And thank you, Candace. And you can see Candace on TikTok. This is the warrior I've been talking about who has the beautiful hair. I mean, she gets the compliments on her TikTok all the time. The oil she uses from her sister-in-law. Sister-in-law is a beautician and created oil for dry scalp. I mean, you should see Candace's hair on TikTok and even her picture, social media pictures. It looks so vibrant and bright. Even like, my God, how does your hair get like that and you on dialysis? Because a lot of patients have issues with dry skin and hair falling out. They're like, what's going on? Because of the protein, the toxins. And what is on Candace's side is she does dialysis at home. What we're going to talk about tonight. She never stepped foot in a dialysis clinic, and that was her decision based on the information that she researched. She said, I had a hand in it, but I didn't think so. But if I did, I thank God. Because now she's able to be with her family, be able to help her children with their homework, don't have to be in the clinic just waiting around to get off, hold her sites. Then she got to drive home. And she only been doing dialysis 9 months. She say 9 months strong. 9 months. And so there was a time not too long ago, a lot of you guys back in the 90s who's watching this probably were teenagers. Remember, I've been doing this since 1985. It may not look like it, thank God for my mom and dad's genes, but I don't feel like it, especially when I'm on that clinic floor walking up and down. But there was a time where there wasn't no social media. There wasn't no this. Just back in the 80s, 90s. And people felt like they were alone. Like, oh my God, I wonder if anybody else is doing this. And you wouldn't know unless you step foot in the dialysis clinic. You go to the door, oh my God, I didn't know it was like this. Now it's nothing to see people on dialysis thanks to technology. And people such as Candace V. Madden and Mel Pena, and I can't think of, Lady Tiffany, called Crushing Kidney Disease. They do their treatment, and other people, the young lady named Shay, who broadcasts from her unit. But she got the camera focused on herself, okay? So I want to say that so people don't say, oh, HIPAA privacy. But this is what's needed. So other people can see who's dealing with this disease that, yes, you can do it at home. Or if you don't want to do it at home, go to the center. Because a lot of people want to get outside the house, especially if they're single and they live alone, to socialize with other people. It's understandable. That's completely understandable, because if I was home and if I was alone, no family, and I was on dialysis, yeah, I want to get the hell out the house. So let's talk about the two options. What I want to talk about first is peritoneal dialysis, which is a home option. Okay, peritoneal dialysis. And so when you do peritoneal, you ask anyone, Kidney Strong. I'm trying to think of her name. She's on TikTok. She does peritoneal. She got off of dialysis for a while. She had the freedom to discontinue treatment for a while, like many other warriors have happened to. And then unfortunately, her disease came back and reared its ugly head. And now she's back on peritoneal. So this is the option we're talking about tonight. It's fortunate that, like, again, warriors like Kidney Strong, Mel Pena, are able to be on TikTok and show you in real time, how this treatment option is done, thus giving you an opportunity to decide based on what you see and then your own research, is this treatment option for me? Because again, you can have more freedom and time to enjoy your life if you pick home dialysis, especially peritoneal. Okay, so let me just read you a little fact. Did you know that you may be able to do dialysis at home? That's a fact. On your schedule. Your schedule, not nobody else's, your schedule. The most popular home dialysis is called peritoneal dialysis, or PD for short. That's the most popular, whether you believe it or not. Because right there, you can take it to work if you do manual. You can take the bags to work, be in the office, just as I mentioned before, just like they have now, where women who are breastfeeding have pump stations or rooms where they allow women to breastfeed their newborns. You are allowed, according to the ADA, American Disability Act, because you have a disability, And make sure you use that word. You can do PD at work. It doesn't have to be on a machine. You just hang the bag up, sit there, eat your lunch while the fluid is draining in. Once it's drained in, you disconnect. You go back to work. Hello? Microsoft International, can I help you? You know what I'm saying? You go back to work. Then you go and you drain it out. Then you go back and fill it back in. It's called dwell and drain. You ain't got to go to no clinic now. You ain't got to get stuck in the arm. So with PD, you'll go to the clinic just a couple of times a month to meet with the care team. The rest of your dialysis time is done at home, in the comforts of your own home. So here's some facts about PD. It was invented roughly about 43 years ago. So it's almost kind of like still new, getting out there. 40 years is not that long. I'm 58, so I was 18. I was 18, just about to go in the military. Or just in the military. Well, it's probably more now, but at the time of this document, 45,000 people in the U.S. did PD. This document is 4 years old. Well, almost 5 years old. So it's probably more than 45,000 people doing PD at home now. And majority of kidney doctors, check this out. The majority of kidney doctors say they would do dialysis at home if they had kidney failure. Just like myself. That's if I did it. Because a lot of people don't know there's another option. And that's no option at all. It's called conservative therapy. If you don't want to do dialysis, you don't have to. They'll manage. They'll manage you as much as they can. But make no mistakes. Once those toxins or whatever overcome you, you know what's the next thing. And if you're not ready or prepared for that, conservative therapy isn't for you. Now, I said, if I ever get down to kidney failure, I'll do conservative therapy. I know the consequences. Who knows? If that ever happened, I may change my mind. But right now, that's not my intentions. I intend to go to conservative therapy. I feel like my time is up because there's no way I'm going to be taking transplant medication. I never took it. I don't have nothing against it. But that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, so with peritoneal dialysis, let's look at a day in the life of a person on PD, how it pretty much goes. I mean, you've seen Mel or Kidney Strong talking about peritoneal. You see them on TikTok Live, maybe cleaning the site. But typically, what is their day like before actually broadcasting to you guys and what you see when they at the part of cleaning? So let's talk about that. A typical day looks like when you're doing PD at home using the machine. Now, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, you're able to see a picture of the machine I'm about to put up. Sorry, TikTok. I can't show you the picture on there. But if you go on YouTube and Facebook, you're able to see the picture I got up of a PD machine. Okay. Now, here's what a typical day looks like when doing PDs and at-home machine. 1, before going to bed in the evening, some people may put on their pajamas or their favorite PJs or clothes to relax in. 2, they connect the PD machine to a small port near the belly button. So now I'm about to put up a picture of how a catheter looks coming out the abdomen. This is on YouTube and Facebook. If you want, you can see the replay or you can go over and see it. But I had a picture up now. Let me see something. I will have to cut this down. Hold on. This is how much I care about you guys on TikTok. Hold on, I'm going to show the picture so the crowd on TikTok can see. So that's how a PD catheter looks like coming out the stomach. Okay. And then here's the machine again. That's one machine. No, it's just a lot of toxics when the side effects from the transplant medicine. And then this is how a PD looks like. You got the bag right here draining in. And it sits in the abdominal cavity right here. And then it sits there for a while. And then it drains out into this bag right here. The toxins and the waste. Okay. So let me turn this back, flip the camera. This is happening all in real time. That's what we do here. There's no formalities. This is live, not Memorex. So you connect to the PD machine to a small port near your belly button. Then you program the treatment by pressing a couple of buttons. You're going to program whatever they tell you your orders are. You program it. Okay. Then, this is if you're using the machine. Then you get in bed or you go on TikTok, whatever you do. Right? And you watch TV or whatever you do. And then the 5th step, after about 8 to 10 hours, okay, you wake up and you disconnect the machine. So this is all happening, as I call it, the magic is happening while you sleep. Like I said, you get up, disconnect, 6, that's it. You go on your day. You go about your day. And then you come back and you repeat the ritual again the next day. At night. That's it. However, let's talk about some things before you get to that part. Okay? In order to do PD, you're going to need a way to connect to your body. You're going to need a tubing so it can transfer the fluid. come in and out to remove the toxins. And that's what I showed you guys, that tubing coming out of the stomach, which is the PD catheter. Let me show you guys again for the people who just came in the room. You're going to need a PD catheter. This is called a PD catheter. It's a flexible tube that's surgically placed next to your belly button. Access for as long as you do PD. Okay? So getting a PD catheter requires outpatient surgery. Most people go home the same day. The PD catheter may be used almost immediately, but usually is allowed to heal for a few weeks. Now, there are different types of PD machines. Now, your doctor may describe different version of PD with the machine. Both versions are usually done overnight while you sleep. Now, type 1 is called continuous cycling peritoneal dialysis, or CCPD. With this type, you may need to keep some dialysis solution in your body during the day. Then you got type 2, is called nocturnal intermittent peritoneal dialysis. Now, with this type, you may not keep fluid in your body during the day. Your doctor can help you choose the best option for you. And now with this type, pretty much is pretty much associated with manual peritoneal dialysis, or CAPD, continuous ambulatory peritoneal dialysis. Now, while many people use a machine to do their PD, some do it by hand. Now, this is what Melanie does. She does hers by hand, and this is how it works. You add dialysis fluid to your body using an IV bag, which is this right here. All right, and you let it drain in, and then you go about your day. All right, and then after 4 to 8 hours, you connect an empty bag and drain the fluid from your body that you let come in your body. Now you're going to drain it out because it's going to take out the fluid, the toxins right here. All right. And then you repeat this process by adding new fluid and repeating that cycle. Most people do this 3 to 4 times a day. Put it in, wait 4 to 8 hours, drain it out, do it again, drain it in, wait again, 4 to 8 hours, drain it out, do it again. And each time it takes about 30 minutes for the process. Okay, let me flip you guys around and put the effects back on. So this is the manual PD, and we're going to talk about home dialysis. Stick around. We're almost there, guys. All right. We're halfway down the stretch. All right. So let's talk about some considerations. Now that I talked about continuous cycling with the machine and the manual, where you can go to work. I mean, you can go to work during each night, day. But if you don't want to use the machine, you can do it manually and go to work and do your treatment at work. I knew a lady we had on the show about 3 years ago. I can't think of this lady's name. I swear. But she used to work in California in the fruit farms. And she told us she used to, on her break, do dialysis, the peritoneal in her car. In her car, during lunch break. Now, if an older lady can do this, what's your excuse? Not saying like getting on people. If you are hesitant or sitting on the fence about what treatment option, and you don't want to get stuck by 15 gauge needles that look like this, and you terrified, and you know that going into the game, the peritoneal may be best for you. Don't let nobody try to talk you out of it. Do your own research, because there's a lot of people on dialysis outpatient right now that are well more than qualified and able to do dialysis at home that would benefit them greatly. But they listen to other patients or technicians and say, oh, I'm thinking about doing home dialysis. And the next thing you know, somebody may say, oh, I heard so-and-so got sick and they died from that, or they had a bad experience. That's their experience. You don't know what caused that experience. That's not your reality. That's that person's reality. So you can't always listen to other people, because what somebody may have told you that could greatly benefit you, maybe keep you working, bring your money to the table, food on the plate for your kids and your family, and you may go off of some bull crap that not even true. Maybe it was just that person. Maybe they didn't do something right. You don't know the whole situation. You just hearsay. So don't go off of other people's accounts. Do your own research, and based on what you gathered, and then you do your analysis. If you want to get technical and get into the books and all that education stuff, scientific, you analyze your data, meaning just look over it, whatever you collected, and see if it applies to you, if it will work for your situation. Your situation may not be like the next person. You may run a club. You may have your own business, and God damn it, kidney disease came in out of nowhere, like a thief in the night. Came up behind you and put you in the chokehold. Next thing you know, you're a business owner with kidney failure. Now you're like, my God, how am I going to go to treatment, run my business, or do this or do that? Now I got to worry about this goddamn disease. Taking 3 to 5 hours out of my day going into a clinic that I don't probably want to go into. How I'm going to run my business. How I'm going to get my coins. What'd you say? They got home dialysis. No one told me that. Yes, they got home dialysis, champ or queen. Yes. No one told me, Steve. That makes so much sense for my situation. I can at least give it a try. That's better than not being at my business, going away for 4 to 5 hours, and then feeling washed out where I can't go back to the office or go home and focus or concentrate on my business because I'm so washed out. Well, let's try home dialysis, because that way you may not feel washed out. You may be a little tired, but if we tailor the treatment to your needs, you may have the energy like this TikTok warrior named Candy V. Yes, go talk to her. She's a TikTok warrior. She will definitely let you know how treatments are. Okay, I will. Because I didn't know you can do this at home. But let's talk about some considerations that you should think about if you want to do PD at home. Like all medical treatments, let's not forget that. This is a medical treatment. This is nothing to play around with. Like all medical treatments, there are some things to consider. 1, PD requires that you do the dialysis treatments on your own or with a partner. The dialysis center gives you all the training you need. Are you mentally prepared to go through the training and the treatment of this treatment option? Be honest with yourself. Don't waste nobody's time, especially yours. 2, PD requires supplies. So you're going to need to place the storm. And that's one of the number one reasons why patients say they don't want to do it, because they don't have any place to store. Don't let that be an excuse. Even if you gotta be a minimalist and downsize, isn't your health and your life more important and valuable than material things that may not have any significant meaning to your life? Isn't your health worth that? So you're going to need the space. And you can get creative and reshift some things and stack stuff here, put stuff there. It can be done. So don't let you don't have the space think your way out of doing a treatment that could benefit you in the long run. And 3, something else to consider: keeping your PD catheter area clean and sanitary can limit your chances of infection. Can you handle that? Can you handle keeping your PD catheter? I'm going to put it back on the screen. Let me turn this off. Hold up. Can you handle keeping your PD area, this area right here, clean and sanitary so you can limit your chances of getting an infection? See, this is not just 1, 2, 3. It's going to take some effort from you to be very in tune to what's going on. It can't just be, yeah, I want to get on PD and I want to, do this and not do this. You got to keep that area clean because you don't want what's called peritonitis. All right, inflammation of the peritoneum. That's the lining. And let me show you guys, okay? Let me get this camera back again and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Now, right here, this lining, you see where the cursor is? I don't mean to be yelling, I'm sorry. This lining right here is the peritoneum. And if that gets infected, because right here, the catheter is coming out of the body. So that's why we say you got to keep that area clean, because if any germs get in here and get in that tube and cause an infection, that's where peritonitis comes from. And it's very, very painful. You ask kidney warriors about it, they'll tell you it's very painful. Okay, and that's then you don't want to have it. You got to keep the area clean and be mindful of it. Okay, and it's not hard to do. You got kidney warriors who do PD and are very successful with it. Okay, so don't let that scare you or prevent you from thinking, because I talk about this is just part of the risk of this. Okay, now let's talk about the benefits. Let me remove this. All right, for those of you just joining, welcome. I'm Steve, the kidney nurse. This is Steve, the kidney nurse show. I'm your host, Steve Belcher. Tonight, we are talking about home dialysis. Is it right for you? Okay, or have you thought about it? Please subscribe to my YouTube and my Facebook channel. This is just a quick break before I return about the benefits. Also, if you're new and you don't know, let me put it up on the screen. I am author of the book, How to Survive Outpatient Hemodialysis, a guide for patients with kidney failure, available at www.stevethekidneynurse.com. This book is packed with insightful information for that new person that's about to start outpatient hemodialysis, their family member or caregiver. It also, my hope is to reduce your anxiety. So if you read this book before you actually start dialysis, hopefully, and it's my hope that it will reduce your anxiety so you'll know what to expect once you go in through those doors. Again, How to Survive Outpatient Hemodialysis, a guide for patients with kidney failure, available at www.stevethekidneynurse.com. Now, let's get back to the show. Now, let's look at the benefits of peritoneal. One benefit is PD is an effective treatment. It cleans the blood every day, while hemodialysis usually cleans the blood 3 days a week. So you see the benefits of that? Right there's a benefit. If your blood, the kidneys work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? And if your blood is getting clean every day through PD, no needles stuck in you, and at night, then that's way better than going 3 days a week. The second benefit, some people have little kidney function remaining starting dialysis. PD can help keep it going. So if you still got some kidney function left, going on PD may help prolong it. And if that happens, you're going to have a great clearance. You're still urinating some, and you're doing PD every day. You're going to have a lot of energy. You ain't going to have to go and have these guys doing surgery on your arm, or have to go through being stuck with a 15 gauge needle. You ain't got to go through that with PD. Also, PD is also gentler on the body, including the heart. Now you ain't got this blood pump spinning, pulling your blood out. Now you got PD, you got the fluid going in, just sitting in your belly. You ain't got to worry about your blood going out of your body, coming back in. Your diet, which is very important to a lot of people. Can I still eat the same stuff? And most of the time, the doctors say, yes, you do PD, you can almost eat anything you want, because you're getting dialysis every day. So you're going to have a less restrictive diet. And then, last but not least, PD works around your life and schedule. Isn't that what you want? Especially if you're working. If you're still trying to get the bag, as they call it. If you don't want to give up working. This evolves around your life and schedule. Excuse me. And you know what that means? Guess. You know what that means, TikTok? When PD works around your life and schedule, you know what that means? The person on PD, when PD works around your life and schedule, do you know what that means? Guess. The people who do PD on TikTok and who may be watching this right now on Facebook and YouTube, they know what it means to do PD and how it works around your life and schedule. You want to know what it means? It means more time doing the things you love to do. Ask the people who are doing PD right now. They probably tell you, I wouldn't trade it for the world. In spite of me having to do dialysis, I wouldn't trade this type of treatment for the world. Because now I got more time with my grandkids, with my husband, my wife, my family. Now life has a new meaning for me. Now we're able to go on and plan family trips. Now we can continue to travel to Spain or France. People got the money. Now, if I got a yacht, if you're watching this and you got a yacht and you do home dialysis and you need somebody to stick you, reach out to me. Seriously, if you want to go on a trip, if you got a yacht or a jet or you have it like that and you need me to stick you or watch over your treatment, I am available for that type of service. I'm just putting it out there. All right? Still got to live my life, but I'm just putting it out there. Shit, Steve the kidney nurse wanted to travel too. I want to be on the yacht and put my feet in the water. Not just do it once a year. I'm just kidding, but yeah, even if you're on the yacht, you could take your PD machine and stay in the water instead of going to the different ports trying to find a dialysis clinic. All right, so just remember, because we're about to transition to home hemo now. PD is just one of many different treatment choices, including transplant. Let's not forget that option. In-center and home hemo. Just remember, guys, just remember this. No one chooses kidney disease. You just don't got, yeah, I want kidney disease. I want kidney disease. No one chooses kidney disease. But remember this. How you treat it is a choice you get to make with your doctor. Remember that. This is your choice. No one chose this. But if you are a chosen one with this disease and you got to go on dialysis, remember it's your choice. Don't let someone guilt trip you into choosing the treatment option you're not comfortable with. So I'm going to talk about home dialysis, and then we're going to call it a night. All right. All right. Again, you see the people on TikTok and social media. You got one very brave, beautiful, gorgeous warrior, Candace Me Vegan, is a example that dialysis, home dialysis can work. Now, there's many more people out there. Okay. Let me put up a picture. I got a couple doing home dialysis up here on the screen. We got a couple up here on the screen. And pretty much, many people do home hemo at home. You know, that's right. The same type of dialysis that's done at outpatient can be done at home safely. Okay. Now, how does it work? You see the machine over there sitting on the table. Now, you have a small hemodialysis machine that's given to the patient to use at home. All right. They give you the machine. All right. Now, this machine works just like the one in a dialysis center, but it's much smaller and simpler. You've seen Candace, my lady. I'm sorry, Candace. Dang. But you see Candace, you know what I'm talking about. with her machine. She programs it. You see her setting it up. I mean, very, very easy. Okay. Now, the blood is clean using a filter like the one I've been showing you guys to remove toxin and extra fluid. And the clean blood is then returned to your body. Okay. Let me flip the camera. All right. So it's the same pretty much process that's done at the dialysis unit, but you're doing it at home. Okay. Now, many people have a person who helps them do home hemodialysis. However, some people can do the whole process themselves, like Candace. She has her husband there. Okay. However, you don't never see him because she is comfortable doing the process herself. And if she do needs him, he will be there to assist. So a helper is usually a family or friend. If you don't got a family and you want to do home dialysis, try to find a best friend to help you. Or a partner. And what happens, you and the person receive all the training you need from the dialysis clinic. This includes everything from learning to put the needles in, to running the machine safely. And that's how Candace learned. Now, most people do 4 to 5 home hemodialysis treatment a week. Now, in-center is 3. When you're at home, you're doing it a little bit more gentler, and you don't feel washed out. In fact, some people say they got a lot of energy. So why wouldn't you want that? To feel much better than feeling wiped out every other day. And it may take you a day to recover. We're in the 21st century. We should be able to do these type of treatment in the convenience of your own home without feeling scared. Because if you're going to let someone that you never met, you go into the dialysis clinics. If you don't know the technician, like knew them before dialysis and everybody's new, you never met them people a day in your life. Before you went into that clinic, you didn't know anyone in there from a can of paint. And you're going to tell me you're going to take the confidence away from yourself and put it on someone that you never met a day in your life? And you're just going to take their word when you go in to the clinic? Yeah, for the most part, things go okay. But it's the times when things don't go okay, when they should have went okay, is where the problem comes in. You're like, Steve, what do you mean? What I mean, like infiltration. You get a new technician come up to you and they may not have any care in their job. They just there for a paycheck. And they do it and wiping, and next thing you know, they go through your access and you got an infiltration. Your arm swells up. If that was me, I would be like, shit, I could have did that myself. I could have infiltrated my own self. So what I'm saying, maybe, just maybe, if you thought that you couldn't do this at home because you felt like you can't stick yourself, look at the person who's sticking you now. They learned, so you can learn. There's no secret on doing this. If you want to learn, you learn how to, you find out where your access is, you learn how to get comfortable with the needle. If I was your trainer, I wouldn't force you. If I was trained, you watching this and you wanted to learn how to stick yourself, this is something that can be taught online, meaning even though I'm not there with you, you can find something to practice on instead of your arm for now. And get comfortable. Get one of them technicians or somebody to give you a needle. I know you know people in the clinic. Ask them to slip you one of these so you can learn how to stick yourself. Just open the needle up, get comfortable with it, rotate it, see how it is. Just, look at it, get comfortable holding the butterfly needle, and watch how they stick you, because they're supposed to stick you. This is the bevel. The tip is called the bevel. The open with the bevel up. They're not supposed to stick you with the bevel down, with the needle facing up. And you go in at a 45-degree angle, right? And when you see that flash, we call it the flashback that comes in the needle, that means you're in the access. 45-degree angle. Hold up. 45, you go in, you see the flash, then you level the needle out and advance it. Then you tape it down. You got your tape torn, tape yourself up. I know it sounds easier said than done. Easier said than done, Steve. But yes, but practice. Don't just go into it trying to do it. Practice on a rubber ball. Get the needle, put it in, or some type of flexible tubing that you can see when you put it in, and then you advance it. So again, most people do 4 to 5 home hemo treatments a week. You got to be dedicated, guys. If you want to do home hemo, you got to be dedicated. And what I suggest, doing it at night. Well, I tell people, if you got insomnia, you can do it at night. Watch TV, do your treatment, kick back, some popcorn, not butter flavored. But you get what I'm saying. Watch Netflix. Hell, you could be doing dialysis right now watching me. And learning education. Because a lot of patients in the unit, they're not able to get the education. So let's look at, as with PD, let's look at a typical day. This could be the typical day in Candace's life. I hate to keep using you, Candace, but you do home dialysis. But it varies because Candace works from home. But the typical day What a typical day looks like when you're doing hemo at home is just like you see Candace. She set up the machine. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes. You see it talking, going back, putting the bags up. See it putting the cartridge in. Then, I don't know if you see it, but she has to weigh herself. And you see her checking her blood pressure. So you got to do those two things because you want to know what you weighed before you went on. So if you're going to take off 2, you want to make sure you when you weigh afterwards to see if you've taken off 2. Then you're going to take your pre-pressure and your post-pressure because your pre-pressure could be like 150 over like 90. And then you take your pressure every half an hour or however they suggest during the treatment. And then you take your post-pressure. Your post-pressure may be 110 over 80. Then wherever you're going to sit, Candace, she got a nice chair, very comfortable. You may say, oh, Steve, I'm going to get me I'm going to do home dialysis. I'm going to get me a lazy boy. That's cool. You get your lazy boy, then you settle into your chair and get comfortable. You put your feet up, the feet goes up. You got your remote control. You tell your kids or your wife, hey, bring me a beer. Nah, but you say, hey, bring me my favorite beverage. Bring me this. The point is you're at home with your family, chillaxing. And then 4, now you're ready to connect the machine to your access. Ready to get the treatment started. Many people have their trained helper insert the needles. And some people like Candace from TikTok does it herself or do it themselves. So if you don't want to, you feel like you can't do it, find somebody that, yeah, I'm going to go, I'll help you. Now, if you lived in the Washington, D.C. area, like Candace, Maryland, and you was doing home hemo, and if you ain't feel comfortable, you could call me. Maybe a little charge, but I wouldn't charge that much. I'll ask you to sow a seed. But some people do it themselves. Some people have a helper to put the needles in. And then from there, they go on and do everything else. And they say, Steve, what do I want to do while I'm at home? I'm on dialysis. What can I do? It's a lot of things you can do. Now, as mentioned, one, spending time with your family, watching TV. You can read. You got your library there. I know some of you guys got a room with a stack of books, crossword puzzle, word finder, surf the internet, be on TikTok, or sleeping. Just get back in the lazy boy. You got to worry about hearing no alarms at the unit going off, the loud talking, just the whole environment. You're in the comfort of your own home. And so then once your treatment is over, you disconnect from the machine, take out the needles, just like you see Candace doing, which you may not see her do, though. You got to clean the machine. Okay? Takes about 15 minutes cleaning up from the treatment, wiping the machine down, getting the cords and wrapping them back up, making sure that, as Candace called it, the P drain is clear. Wrapping up the cords. Then she fills out paperwork, but she has a tablet. An iPad they give you. Very easy. Friendly, user-friendly. Send your information up to the main database or wherever they have you send your treatment information for that particular treatment. And that's it. Now, as far as your vascular access, this is not going to be no PD catheter. It's either you're going to either have a central venous catheter, which is this. So you're going to be a CVC, central venous catheter, or fistula or graft. The fistula is your own veins, natural veins, the artery and veins sewn together to create one large vein, or graft, which is a man-made tubing made out of special material like a graft Gore-Tex material that connects, one piece connects to the vein and one piece connects to the artery that's under the skin. Some may be horseshoe shaped, some may be straight. Now, let's look at some considerations. Just like we did with peritoneal, let's look at some considerations with home hemo. Like all medical treatments, there are some things to think about. Now, if you need a helper, it must be someone you trust or rely on. You got to rely on this person. This person must have good vision and steady hands. Yeah, steady hands. Because if they're going to put this needle in you, that hand got to be steady. You want you shaking about to put that needle in, you're going to look at them like, oh, whoa. Back up. Let's take a deep breath, because you ain't putting no damn needle in me. Not shaking like that. Okay? So if you find a helper, make sure, and you decide to do home hemo, make sure they got good vision and they got steady hands. Because when you hold this needle, you want to make sure the person that's sticking you is not shaking all over the place. Because if they in your access and they doing all this, they're going to rip that access. Because, and you say, well, how are they going to rip it? The edge of this needle is very, very sharp. It's very sharp. Another thing to consider, home hemo usually require needles, just like I showed you. You or your helper must be comfortable inserting these needles. You got to be comfortable doing it. You can't be going there half-stepping, faking the funk. If you go in, you got to go in all the way. Now, the clinic, wherever they do the home dialysis, they're going to give you training. The next consideration, you'll need a clean place to do dialysis regularly and store your supplies. You're going to have a place to store your supplies. Again, check out Candace if you're interested and look at one of her lives and see how she got it set up, where she put her supplies. I mean, the best way is to see someone that's already doing it so you can get a visual picture, a mental picture of how they got theirs set up, where she putting her boxes, her cartridges, her bags, her little supplies like the alcohol, the needles, the gauze, the tape, this, that. How does she has that set up? And you look at that, and then you just apply it to your situation. You look at a situation, if you thinking about doing dialysis at home, and you thinking about a room or area that may be the perfect spot, then you use that mental picture to place that stuff right there. Okay, yeah, I could put the machine and the table right there. I could put the chair right here. Oh, I could put over here. I could stack my boxes up with my cartridges. Oh, I could go get me one of the little caddy carts from the dollar store that comes up to my knee. They got the drawers, and I could put my supplies in there. Oh, now I see it. I got the room. I do got the room to do this. I do got the room. Thank you, Candace. If I didn't see your live, I wouldn't have known or thought that I had the room to do this, because they say you get a lot of supplies and this and that. But just seeing your situation, and I know I don't have a house, I may have an apartment or something like this, but now I see how I can put this stuff and how I can place it here and place this there and stack it to where I can do home dialysis. But you wouldn't have known that maybe if you didn't see people like Candace, my lady, on live doing it at home. Also, you're going to need a standard electrical outlet and a faucet. That's it. Like, Steve, goddamn, man, how I'm going to have one part in one room and my faucet is in the bathroom or this and that? What I'm going to do? They got extension lines. Yes. An extension line so you can make the cord longer. So it can be in one spot and the thing to the sink can go. You make a little pathway. You get those little zip ties, and you put the cords together, and you put the zip tie on it so it can be one cord. You don't have these cords all out. And you put it against the wall. And now you have your electrical outlet. You got your, as Candace called it, your pee drain, or your drain that the waste goes out and goes in the toilet. You just tape it right there on the edge. It doesn't have to go all the way. Steve, I go to the bathroom in there. I do. Look, that's where the waste goes. So you tape it to the bowl. So say this is the line, the drain line right here. And this is the toilet bowl, this circle right here. You just tape it right there. It doesn't have to be all the way in. Like, no, I don't want to touch it. Get some gloves. They give you that with the supplies, along with a lot of other stuff. And you just tape it right there. And that way, the waste coming out, it looks like water, but it's waste. It goes right in the toilet bowl. Then you flush the toilet. And be like, ugh. And if you don't like that, get some those blue toddy things you put in your toilet bowl to turn the toilet blue. Or one of those sanitizers that you put down that on those metal rings or something to have it smelling fresh. So if you don't want to have the smell, I don't think it's an overall smell. But if you just want to keep the bathroom fresh in spite of having waste come out of the machine going down the drain, do that. But let's look at the benefits of home dialysis. And there are many benefits to home dialysis. As I said, one, you can do it in the comfort and privacy of your own home. What more is better than doing any medical treatment that you have to undergo in the comfort and privacy of your own home? Who wouldn't want that? That's what they say. If you got a terminal illness and you're at the hospital, there's nothing we can do. I'm going home. I want to be in the comfort of my bed, my home, my family around me. Another one, you don't need to travel to the dialysis center every other day, especially in inclement weather. Who wants to go out and if it's snowing, you got 2-3 feet of snow? Who the hell wants to go out? I know I don't want to go out, let alone go to work 2 to 3 inches. Possible accident, possible car sliding off the road. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. So now, if you do dialysis at home, you don't have to worry about that mess. All you had to do is visit the clinic possibly a couple times a month, to check in with the team. Also, you may have fewer diet limitations than other options, because now you're doing it 4 to 5 times a week. You may be doing it 5 hours. If you're doing it 5 hours, 5 days a week, that's 25 hours of treatment time opposed to someone doing 3 hours 3 times a week in center. That's only 9 hours of treatment compared to 25 hours of treatment. Do you know how great you would feel at 25 hours of treatment a week opposed to just 9 hours or 12 hours a week? Also, people that do home hem, they can travel with their dialysis machine. You ever seen the people on Facebook walking through the airport with the dialysis case? Then they at the hotel or resort, and you see them set up in their room during the treatment. It may be some work, but isn't that better than not going on vacation because you're at a clinic and some charge nurse or some social worker forgot to send your paperwork or get some type of order from the doctor in time to the other facility? Now there's no more room for you. Now, in order for you to get dialysis in Disney World, you got to go 40 miles away, 80 miles round trip, just for kidney dialysis for a week. You're like, my God, 80 miles round trip, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You done put miles on your car, riding in the hot sun in Florida to go to treatment. Well, if you had the machine, you could be in the hotel dialyzing, go to Universal or wherever you're going to do, come back, dialyze, and go to sleep. Now you ain't got to drive 80 miles round trip. Also, more frequent home treatments can remove excess fluid more gently. It can do it more gently. And you know the benefits of that? Yes. This is good for the heart and recovery time. You got a lot of people say, oh my God, Steve, I do treatment 3 days a week and they run me 450 blood flow rate. I'm taking out 3 liters and I'm 3.5 hours. In the last half an hour, I'm cramping, my blood pressure going. I just feel drained out. And they're like, yes, you're taking off a lot of fluid in a short period of time. But if you was doing it at home, your treatment would be much gentler. You wouldn't have that big restriction because now you're doing it 4 to 5 times a week at longer hours instead of the 3.5, trying to get off 3.5 liters of fluid. That's 3 saline bags and a half. 3 of these bags and a half that you're trying to remove out of your blood within 3 to 3.5 to 4 hours. And you're going to tell me that's not going to have an impact on you, that fluid shift coming out of your cells? Of course. And it happens in form of what we call hypotension, cramping. So as we come down to this, and I didn't know it was going to be 1 hour and 40 minutes. I'm not just going to cut you guys off and say, oh, no, it's 1 hour. Come back Saturday or whenever. And I do another one. This information is important because you may be having somebody right now watching on social media that has to make this type of decision, whether they should do it at home or in center. PD, they may need to make this decision as soon as tomorrow. That's how this disease works. So talk with your care team and especially your kidney doctor about what treatment option is for you or right for you. Remember, home dialysis or home hemodialysis is just one of many treatment options for kidney failure. And as I say, you may be eligible to get on the transplant list before even getting on dialysis. So don't let no one tell you if you're interested in getting a kidney and you're not on dialysis yet, to go seek that information. So if you're on the list, and if you don't get a transplant before dialysis, at least once or if that time happens that you do have to go on dialysis, at least you're on the list. At least you're already there. So with that being said, let me see this last comment that came through on Facebook, YouTube. Thank you for the 3 people that's still around. That's what they told me. Tracy, thank you for sticking around. Candace said, if you get on dialysis, I'm going to come cannulate you on home hemo. Okay. I would trust you. I would trust you enough to stick me, Candace, because I feel like you're very detail-oriented and that you would take your time and not rush. Because you do have a lot of technicians out there who be rushing like, boop, boop, get it on, and that may be fine and well, but I usually take my time, try to make sure the person is comfortable, and I don't take all day, but you don't just wipe, and then put the needles in. I mean, that's how you want to do it, that's fine, but that's not how, I cannulate someone. Because again, you don't have x-ray vision. Can't see under the arm. You got to feel, look, feel, method, look, listen, and feel. PT says, I'm glad I found Steve, the kidney nurse, in my journey. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. And I hope that whatever I, teach or broadcast, that it can add value into your life, and especially with this journey with kidney disease. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off of Facebook and YouTube. Again, if you're new, I'm Steve, the kidney nurse, kidney dialysis nurse. Been in the field 37 years. And we're about kidney disease education. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Much appreciated. Also, if you don't know, pick up the book by myself, Steve, the kidney nurse, How to Survive Outpatient Hemodialysis, a guide for patient with kidney failure, available at www.stevethekidneynurse.com. So that being said, thank you guys. Have a great evening. Peace and blessings. I'm going to be on TikTok for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then I'm going to call it a night. With that being said, stay blessed and encouraged, and have a great evening. And especially if you have dialysis tomorrow, be safe. Don't forget to watch what they're doing with your treatment. And if you see something, say something. With that being said, God bless you, and stay blessed and encouraged.
Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visual. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my strap, put on the beat, put on the map, put on my team. Take out every motherfucker in between. Know what I mean? Better myself, better my aim, better my rap, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame.